Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flags in a Gym, a podcast dedicated to all things color guard. My name is Eric. I'm your host and resident color guard nerd. And for today's episode, I'm joined by my friend Will, and we are going to make our Dayton predictions. We're talking top 5 of each class. So sit back, relax, and let's talk some color guard. Before we get to the predictions, I do want to take a moment and just wish good luck to everyone going to Dayton. Remember, Dayton is so much fun. It is a huge experience. Remember to take it all in. Don't spend the entire weekend stressing about your performances or anything like that. Enjoy yourself. You're going to see and meet so many great people and guards. Just take it all in and love it. And no matter what your goal is, if it is to make semis, if it is to make finals, or if it is to medal, I hope you achieve your goal. But if you don't, remember your whole season doesn't ride on this one result. It's been a wonderful ride. It's been a long season, so many memories, so many great performances. Don't let one bad result or not achieving your goal ruin your season. And lastly, I want to give a couple extra special good lucks to some friends of mine. So, in no particular order, Third Legend, John C. Bertelbaugh High School, Hey Hannah, Victor High School, Larry A. Ryle High School, James Madison University, A and Open, George Mason University, Sacred Heart University, Sonar, Fusion. I wish you all the best of luck and have a great time. I can't wait to see you all on Flow. Now let's get to the predictions. Okay, hi, hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. My name's Will Stevenson. I currently live in Indiana. So I fell in love with pageantry. All the things pageantry. I was like 3 years old. My oldest sister was in high school guard, and I was obsessed immediately in the 80s and then marched high school guard in the late 90s. And then I marched Eclipse 2001, Milwaukee Finals, woo woo. And then Ubiquity Winter Guard in 2004. We did a bunch of regionals and then didn't go to San Diego that year, but we had a blast. And then I've been teaching guard since the fall of 2001. This last fall, I guess the fall of 24 was like my 20, whatever that is, 22nd year, I think, almost consecutively. Yeah, I have a background in textiles and fashion merchandising. So I've always kind of brought my love of fabrics and tactile stuff to everything I do as far as like my costumes and flags. So that's always been fun for me, and getting the kids excited through all that and sequins and all that good stuff. So yeah, and still teaching. So
Awesome. And you used to work for Band Shop or Band Hall?
I worked for Band Shop for almost 10 years. Also, a long time ago, I worked at Creative Costuming also for a little bit after grad school. So, yeah.
Yeah, so all you people that can't get your costume orders in on time. Will's got some words for you.
I've got all the things to tell you. Get it together. No, but it's hard. It's funny. I was even as an instructor and stuff, like I was always just doing it, but it was because I was in it. So it was like, oh, we have to get this done. So I was always like the first one to order, like into May. Here we go. We get them, when school starts in early August, and we're ready to go. And I used to sell all my own flags, so that was fun. I liked it at the time, but now that I'm older and tired, I don't want to do it anymore. But
yeah. And everything's digital print now anyway. So
there's so much of that. Yeah. My worst flag was a 27-piece flag. It was gorgeous. And thankfully my kids loved it. They were so appreciative of it. And it was fab, but never again.
It's like I'll pay somebody to do it next time.
Or I'll pay someone else to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I invited you here today because we are going to be doing predictions for Dayton. We are going to just, shoot our shot and be completely wrong. And we are going to try to predict who's going to finish top five in each class at Dayton. So I invited you on because we've bonded over the season talking about guard like constantly via
Yeah.
Instagram, and we've been chatting over there. And you are a fellow guard nerd like me, like
Love it so much.
yeah. To prove how much of a guard nerds we are, we both printed out the prelim schedules off of
I started
WGI's.
highlighting already. I'm
Yep, I have mine highlighted too. And you have a great understanding of the sport and the history, and you love to overanalyze things like me. So I was like, perfect person to come on and pick these guards and be completely wrong about it. So
yes, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. No, so
so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go class by class, and we're gonna pick our top five. They might be the same, they might not be the same. And think of like your NCAA bracket. You're just kind of winging a lot of this. We'll be looking at the rankings and going off of our gut and things like that. And then for open and world, we're also going to predict who we think is going to medal. Now, we don't have to say gold, silver, bronze,
but just
this person, but just
who's gonna
these,
get up in there?
who's going to be up in there, who's going to be on the podium,
Yeah, right.
Um,
Yes, yes. Whose
um,
anthem will we hear?
yeah. So we're going to start with the hardest group possible. Scholastic A. So Will, of the 132 Scholastic A guards competing at Dayton, I counted them.
Okay, I was gonna say, ooh, I think I thought we had more than that, but okay, that's
And
still
well, I cap it at 140, but I think some people pulled out. So,
gotcha. Okay, okay.
so who is finishing top five? And for everybody, remember, the top 20 make finals in Scholastic A. Every other group, it's
Yes.
class, it's 15, but for Scholastic A, it's
And
20.
I
So,
think just because if you're listening, you care. I think I figured out that 56 make it into semifinals, which is insane that they just it's as cutthroat to get into semis. So it's like, oh my gosh.
yeah, because they do 4 rounds of 14 for semis.
Okay, yes. And then it's yeah, it's a
And then somebody's going to miss it by a tenth.
uh-huh.
We're going to go find guard 21.
We'll discuss who that is because I have thoughts.
Oh God. Okay.
No. Okay, but top five, who do I think is gonna be top five? And this is not, I'm not saying
Yeah,
who's
no order. Just yep.
just who's gonna get in there. I think Pope High School from Georgia, John C. Bertelbaugh, I believe is how you say it, from New York.
That's right.
Mount Juliet from Tennessee. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say Ryle High School from Kentucky.
Oh,
Let's do
Ryle,
it,
you think
Kentucky.
so?
Kentucky proud. It's my home state. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna say Melissa High School from Texas. We have a well-rounded.
You do.
A well-rounded assortment there, I think. What about you?
I think it's interesting. You said Mount Juliet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at them. So they haven't been out since week 3, and they got a good number week 3. Yeah, because they're seated
Okay.
6th.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm weary of these guards, because especially in Scholastic A, many of them do like one regional,
Right.
and if it's early,
when I was going through just to look for prelim stuff and just see like who might make it into semis, some of these groups I was like, wait a minute, you haven't even gone out since like February.
yeah.
At least, to a regional, of course, they're, local circuit stuff, but like,
yeah, I mean, I was looking at so Mount Juliet and then Hernando High School out of Mississippi. Both of them are like in the top 10, but they haven't been out since week 3. So I'm like, are you getting better? Are you plateauing? So I'm like, I don't know. And then you have Katy High School out of Texas, who came out the Austin Regional at the beginning of March, came in 17th in Scholastic A in Texas. There were like 20 units in finals. They came in 17th. Fast forward to the Power Regional weekend this past weekend in March, the last weekend of regionals, they jumped to an 89 and came in second place behind Melissa High School.
Woo!
In 3 weeks.
Talk about they are some hardworking kids.
That's incredible. So,
wow.
My top 5, because I was looking at all this. So I have Pope as well. I have Melissa as well, and then I have John C. Bertelbaugh as well. Shout out to Hannah. Hey, Hannah.
Hey.
And then I'm gonna go with Grain Valley. I haven't seen them. I don't know much about them, but
I could not find a video.
Yeah. But they went to a regional. It was like the Kansas City or something regional. Or like they went to some Midwest regional, and like slaughtered A class. Like just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, "Oh, who's this?" So I'm like, okay. And they're seated second. So, and I believe they have a good prelim spot.
Okay.
And that was week 5 when they popped that number. So, and then for my number 5 spot, I'm going to take a wild swing and I'm going to go Katy High School. Like
All right.
they made this huge jump over 3 weeks. I mean, they went
Yeah.
from a 74 and change to an 89 in 3 weeks at WJ Regionals. They were
Yeah.
right behind Melissa High School.
That is
So I'm gonna go for it.
that's
Like,
pretty impressive. I have a question for you if I can ask
yes,
a question here before we
no questions.
okay. With Scholastic A,
Uh-huh.
especially, I mean the other classes, this question applies, but really with Scholastic A, I think just with how many there are. Do you have any idea? Because I really don't. The seeding thing I get, but like you're the first group in round one. Do you have any shot at all
No,
of advancing to semis, let alone finals? I
I
mean,
don't think
I don't.
so. I remember I
Not to
took
say that whoever's going first, at 10 a.m. doesn't, but I'm just curious.
Southgate
Like,
Anderson High
is
School.
there any? Is there any precedent for that? I guess I don't know. I that's the stuff I love that stuff because it's like, ooh, they went on first and they still plowed their way into like cool. But I wonder how just common that is, or I don't know. I just,
Yeah,
but
they go to an early regional, get that middle of the road score, but that's the only one they're going to, and they show up at Dayton, and they're like, oh, we got our show together,
here's your
and
bronze medal.
they're
Thanks.
like, oh,
What?
I do think you would get into semis because you have
Hmm.
basically a 1 and 2 shot of getting in. There's 130, 56 get in, so it's between 1 and 2 and 1 and 3
Okay.
that get in to
Yeah.
semis. But I remember when we took our school to Dayton, we were not making semis. We knew that going. We wanted to take the kids for the experience. We wanted to do the best we could, but we knew going in, we're not competing for anything
Yeah.
here, right? But it was Somerset Academy was there, and this was years ago.
Okay.
And we were with the director or somebody who like the show designer, and they made it into semis, but they got the very first semi slot, and we
Okay.
were staying at our hotel. And the guy was just like, yeah, we're not making finals. He's like, you cannot make finals with that first slot. If you're first out of 56, I
Yeah.
mean, you're not gonna pop a 94 to get into finals.
Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah, because I mean, usually the groups that make finals, you look at those semi scores, and it's like everyone's getting at least a 90
yeah,
in semis
I
to
want to say it was
walk their way
3
into.
years ago where there, 20 made it, and I counted 16 of them scored over 90 in
Mhm.
semis. And it's just like,
Yeah.
because there's so many guards, and the judges have to, space their
Uh,
scores. They got to stack the numbers. Oh, they were a little bit better than them, but they were worse than them, and that's how these numbers get so inflated. Because there's,
yeah.
and then finals they can reset. All right, but that's
Yeah.
your
I
final
did a lot
answer.
in the fall, and those numbers. There was one show I did this past year, and it was like I think we had like 36 groups, and we had to narrow it down to 10.
Oof.
And I mean that's marching band, but like still, like it was just like what. I need more numbers here. Thank goodness for decimal points. But
And I'm pretty sure Scholastic A semis they get a double panel,
okay.
because
Okay.
it's such a huge class, and it's
You
cutthroat to get into finals. So I think they do a double panel for semis for Scholastic A only to
yeah.
kind of even out the numbers. So
Make sure it's correct.
right.
Yeah.
And those double panels, so little sidebar, I went back and looked at Avon last year because they got the record score of 99.35 or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
If you had taken the top score from each caption,
Okay.
they would have had a 99.6.
Ooh.
But if you had taken the lowest score, they would have had a 99.1.
Interesting.
So I was just curious,
But
like, I
with
wonder what
those
happened if you only had a single
extra
panel.
decimals and things, it's kind of that. Wow, that's really. But they
Yeah.
still would have had a 99, so that's great.
Yeah, so it would have had 99.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. Wow, that's wild. My goodness.
All right. So your final answer on Scholastic A is
Final answer for $1,000.
no. This is the $1,000,000 question. This is the hard one.
Oh gosh.
I think like Independent
Okay.
Worlds, Classic Worlds easier.
Oh yeah. Okay. Gosh.
You said Pope, Melissa, Bertelbaugh, Juliet,
Bertelbaugh.
and Ryle.
Yeah, doing it.
Yeah, you're going hometown with Ryle. I love Ryle's show. I do. I would love for them to make top 5. I don't know if they will, but I would love for them to.
Yeah. I who knows, but yeah.
And then mine,
I don't know if a Kentucky high school has ever placed that high. I can't remember. We've had a lot of teams make finals over the years, but I don't know if anyone's ever cracked the top five. I'm not sure.
I was going to say Dobbins Bennett, but that's Tennessee.
That's Tennessee, yeah. Paul Lawrence Dunbar from Lexington has made finals a couple times, and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they cracked into maybe the top 10, I think, the last time they went. But anyway,
It's hard getting top five.
it's
Like,
especially in Scholastic A.
yes. And then mine are Pope, Green Valley, Melissa, John C. Bertelbaugh, and Katy High School. Those are my top five. Lock it in. We're gonna revisit this after Dayton and just laugh at how incredibly wrong we are.
Yes,
Or
yes.
if we're incredibly right, we're going to buy lottery tickets.
Bingo.
All right, let's move over to Independent A. So I'll go
Okay.
first this time. So we have 62 guards here competing, 15 make it to finals. And I know we talked about this prior. I think the small guards are going to really show up at Dayton. I think a lot of the top of Independent A are going to be guards with like 10 or fewer members.
Mm-hmm. So there's at least what? There's at least two that we talked about that have under 10 for
We
sure.
know we know of two for sure. Sacred Heart, who's seated fifth, I think has right around 10.
Like 9 or 10, maybe. Yeah.
10, maybe 11. Like they're not very big.
Yeah.
But like Pacific Airs has 7, Relentless has 7. I think there's somebody else up there up the top that's fairly small too. But then you have Opus that has like 30 people on the floor. But no, for my top five, in no order. So I have Pacific Airs, Relentless, Homage,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna pick University of Nevada, Reno. Haven't seen them, no clue what they're doing, but they have been consistently scoring very high at all the regionals, like 2, 3, 4 points ahead of second place every regional they've gone to. They're just kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, like, there's no flow. I mean, we didn't even get a Florida flow regional this year, which is
That one was pretty shocking. That was probably the most shocking of the whole batch of this whole season. Yeah, it was that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to it later, but we didn't get to see Flanagan or Tarpon or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my fifth spot, I'm going to go with Sacred Heart. I know Opus is seated second, and I'm sorry to the people at Opus, but I think the scores when Orlando were a little off, like Relentless dropped a bit, and I think some other numbers were a little high. But yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. So Relentless, Homage, Pacific Airs, University of Nevada, Reno, and Sacred Heart. I saw Sacred Heart last week at the Power Regional. It's very good. They had a little bit of a stumble run in finals, so their number could have been higher. So that's why I'm pushing them into my top five. So I'm like, they clean that up.
Their prelims run, I was like
Yeah,
watching on my TV. I was like, holy mackerel!
yeah,
They
they're
really that was wild. They
I
were
didn't know much about them, and they came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And it was so funny with the timing because I put the Lake Central High School clip on my Instagram page of
yes,
the
the
straight
same
flag.
song, the same song.
It's the same song, yeah. And the director was in the comments. He's like, "Oh my god, we're doing this song this year." And then they come out, and I see the floor, and I'm like, "Oh, this is he was talking about doing this." And they start dancing or whatever, and then the saber line picks up the saber, and they throw this Boston Five, and I'm like, "Oh."
The East Coast
Oh,
is on the screen. We are here.
so I'm like, okay.
Yes.
But yeah, finals, they stumbled a bit. So I mean, they could have had an 88, I think, close to an 88 in finals if they hadn't had that stumble run. So I'm putting them in my top five. So
Nice.
thankfully,
Awesome.
we don't have to pick medalists. But if I had to pick one, I think I would lock Pacific Airs for a medal. That's what I got for Independent A. What about you?
Awesome. We're pretty darn close here on this one. I have Homage from Ohio, and then Relentless, Opus Independent. I haven't
Mhm.
seen Opus, but I know that they were ranked really high, and just kind of looking at their stuff, like so I'm like, yeah, they'll probably be up in there.
I've seen them twice. They've been to two flow regionals. So
Okay, okay.
they came in second to Relentless at the Southeast Power Regional. Oh, no,
Oh,
it was a
okay,
close second, I think. Yeah.
okay, nice. And then Pacific Airs, our friends from British Columbia. And then I also put Sacred Heart in the top five. I'm like, I think they can do it. I think they can just get up in there. Yeah, they're really great. Pacific Airs, whew, 7 people, and they do more with 7 people than some groups do with 40. I mean, my
Yes.
goodness, it is just, and every single one of those performers I will give you money if you can find a flaw. Not really.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, wow, I was just could not. I mean, it was wild. And we can talk about that later. But like some of the other groups too, it's just like full-blown commitment
Yeah.
to connect to each other, to the audience, to the soundtrack, to the whole, like it is just whoo, wow.
Yeah. They move beautifully. They spin really well. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, their weapons were out there throwing solid sixes
It
left and right.
like it was
Like,
nothing.
yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna go to the store for a second while this
Right.
is in the air and I'll
Right.
come back and catch it. It's fine. Like, yeah. Yeah. So definitely, yeah. But I think Sacred Heart can get up in there as well. It's gonna be exciting, an exciting class. Just that whole independent A.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very, very cool.
A class is always fun. I've always said A class is the backbone of WGI. It
Yep.
does not get the respect it's deserved. I lost my mind when they moved A finals to the Nutter Center for like 1 year.
I remember that. Yes.
Oh yeah,
It was, that
I
was
was like,
not.
no, no, ma'am, no.
Yeah.
You
That
put
was
them back in UD Arena. That's
yeah.
no. But with the advisory boards and how they vote, all the powers in the world guards, so they can rule how they want. And for those of you listening, I'm going to do a whole episode right after Dayton about how the rules proposals work. So because that'll be opening up shortly after Dayton. So if you want to change some rules, like so there was some drama at the East Power Regional. I'll tell you, I'll give you guys a little tea. Nothing crazy. But a lot of people have gotten to the confetti stage. Like it's the end of the season. We need those couple extra
Yes.
GE points. So they're stuffing their flags with confetti, right? We love it. We love a confetti moment.
Yep.
But the TNP judges were on the warpath with
Oh.
this confetti. And Sacred Heart actually got a penalty in prelims.
Okay.
And because, and honestly, I was watching it, they didn't seem like they were taking all that long, but this TNP judge just seemed to be, like I said, on the warpath. And they got a tenth of a point penalty because they quote unquote stalled the show. And I'm like, really?
Oh.
Really? Meanwhile, you have these guards that have these massive, elaborate prop setups that they're trying to get through the door that they have to go one at a time, but they've got like 16 props to go through the door. So they're holding up the floor folding. And meanwhile, the other guard's trying to open their floor. Like they're not stalling the show.
Right.
But this person with a little dustbuster getting these couple pieces of confetti. So it's just like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you want to change the confetti rule or things like that, or the no rehearsing in the hallways at the regional sites, which was another point of contention,
Yeah.
because mental runs where you sit around a speaker is considered rehearsing. So you
Oh,
can, so a
I
lot
didn't
of
realize. Okay.
yeah, people were getting very upset because I mean, I think every guard does that, right? You're waiting to go into warm up. So you do some
There's at least some
stretching,
level of that anyway. Yeah. It's
right?
not.
You do some stretching, you have a little music playing, whatever, but then everybody just kind of sits in the circle. They put the speaker in the middle, they play the show music while everybody just does a mental run through before you go into, warm up.
Mm.
No, you cannot do that now. And there were a little back and forth, like, well, this and that about it. So if you want to get these rules clarified and changed, that'll be your opportunity.
I mean, devil's advocate on that, like even my own kids that I've had in the last few years, like our local circuit, like there have been times when we're in the hallway trying to do our thing, like with just getting ready, like costumes and all that. And this other group is like, I mean, they're just groups that spread out in the hallway. It's like you can't do that, folks. You just
Or
can't.
full on across the
You have
floors
to
down the
be,
hallway.
yeah, you have to be respectful and share the space. You don't rule over the hallway just because you want to. That's not how it works.
Right. Well, and then there's the whole argument, well, you can go out. Can we go outside and warm up and, this or whatnot? But
Mhm.
Massachusetts guards can't do that. New England guards really can't do
Right.
it. Texas,
Yeah.
California, Florida, yeah, they're outside all the time. We
Right.
don't we don't have a gym. Oh, let's
Yeah.
go outside. We can do our
Yeah.
whole rehearsal
Throw it
outside.
out in the parking lot and go for it. Yeah.
That doesn't work in the
But
Northeast in February.
yeah. Yeah. But
um,
no, that's interesting though. Yeah, that's hmm. So
yeah.
bring your brooms, bring your
Bring
dust,
your
bring
bring
your
your
stuff, get ready
dustbusters.
to clean up your mess if you got one, because
All right. Good
okay.
with your independent
Yes.
A? Okay. We are locked in for independent A. So we're going to move on to Scholastic Open.
My favorite class.
Ooh, we have 55 groups competing here. And once again, 15 make finals. So what do you got, Will?
All right. So I am full on, no question about it. Noblesville from Indiana. They have been on fire all season long, and woo, wow, yeah. Little Elm from Texas. I think they'll get in there. I'm gonna say Lockport Township from Illinois. That show design is really, really fascinating to watch. And I think if they can have a clean go, it could be really cool to see them in the top five.
And they were second Scholastic A last year. They got promoted this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they finished behind Arlington High School
I
last year.
completely missed that. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
they've been open for a long
they've
time,
been
so that's very cool.
they've been
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, no kidding. So what did I say? Noblesville, Little Elm, Lockport Township, and then
Mhm.
Emerson High School from Texas. I think they'll also could be up in there. And then Shenendehowa from New York. I
Good old Shenendehowa.
love those folks. They are just fearless with their props. They always give us a good prop moment. So
Yes.
this year I think it's discs, I think.
Yeah, they are desk. Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So but yeah, Noblesville, Shenendehowa, woo. Lockport Township, Emerson, and Little Elm, the
And
Texas.
I live kind of near the Shenandoah Valley, so it's always whenever I go to say Shenandoah, I have to be. I
It's
got to
like,
stop for a
wait, they're
second.
different. They're different.
Yeah.
They're different. Yes. What about you? What are you thinking?
So I've got three similar to you, two different. So Noblesville, yes, I think they're going to run away with the class. They've been doing it all season. I think they're just going to, it's one of my when we're done predictions and my extra predictions. I think Noblesville's just going to win by 2 points. Like I think it's going to be that. I have Little Elm making it. They have a very good prelim spot, and I got to see them on Flow.
Okay.
And while the camera angle sucked, from what I could see,
That
I'm like, this looks, yeah.
corner, it's like
We need to get a hold of Flow. Like people are
not
paying a
sure,
lot of money for
not sure
this.
what these gyms are doing, but it's like the corner is a little wonky. But
It's like, can't you just put the camera like right there where the GE judges are sitting, and then move the mic somewhere else, right?
right,
I don't need to hear the judge, but like, can I
right.
get the view they're getting?
Please give me
Uh,
that. Good.
so Noblesville, Little Elm. I do have Shenendehowa in my top five.
Ooh.
They added some TV props to their setup. So
Oh, I
because
have
they're
not.
doing the whole 911
Yeah, like call center kind
call
of
center
thing.
911, yeah, the
Yes,
dispatchers.
that's right. That's right.
So
Okay.
they added these screens that are in the back that change throughout the show. Like, when somebody calls in, it'll say call incoming, and then it's got these maps and everything. It adds a little bit of flavor to it.
That's fun. Very fun.
Um, I'm adding Pearland High School from Texas,
Mhm.
and I'm taking a swing again. I did it with Katie. I'm gonna go Brownsburg High School.
Ooh, so I had them written down as like a dark horse kind of moment, but yeah, okay. The ladders with the
The ladders,
that
yes.
show is gorgeous, and they have improved so much from
And
that.
that's why I'm going with them, because once again, like Katie, and I did it in my indie regional recap. I said, Browns they're a mess right now, but they pull this together. Watch out. And you know what they did?
I
They
mean,
pulled it together.
that good old early 2000s Josh Groban song and those ladders. I'm here for all of it. It's so good.
Yes. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. So I'm
yeah.
like, and they also have a good prelim spot too. So I'm
Okay.
like, I'm gonna go with Brownsburg. I think that, like you said, dark horse. I think that's a great term. And what these predictions mean absolutely nothing anyway. So why not take a swing, right?
Hey, what? Yeah.
Because I'm not taking swings later on.
Oh. Yeah. I love
As
that.
for my medalists, I'm gonna say Noblesville, Little Elm. I don't know who's gonna be the third. I don't know if Shenendehowa is ready to go back up to World yet. I don't know about Pearland. It's gonna be one of those two. I think Brownsburg is gonna be my sleeper sneak into fifth.
Mhm.
I'll go with Shenendehowa. So I'm gonna say Noblesville, Little Elm, and Shenendehowa are my medalists.
Cool.
Probably in that order.
I love it. Did I get my note? I don't know if I said my
No,
note.
you didn't.
Oh, okay. I'll say them now. Noblesville,
Yeah.
hands down. Little Elm, I think we'll get up in there, and I could see Lockport in third.
That would be fascinating. The second in Scholastic A last year, third and open this year, get
Get
bumped right
yourself
to
that
World
bronze, beautiful bronze,
and go right to World.
and go on up into World and see what happens.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the year that Pope High School went from A to World in basically one season?
It was because
They got promoted
so
mid-season to Open, silver medaled in Open, and then for the next season
oh,
they
it
were
was
in
a
World.
mid-season
It was
promotion.
a mid-season
I did
promotion.
not. Okay, so because I was thinking to myself, I was like, because I have a video of the local circuit when they were in Scholastic A in '99, But then in 2000, they were in open, and that's when they won. So it's like, I didn't realize that they had gotten
I forget,
promoted.
was it I think it was the track show.
Yep, yeah,
They
the
came out in
running.
A with the track show and they were like,
Okay,
no, 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 this is not an A.
you're yeah, get out of here.
They got moved to open. I think they came in second or something like that. And then they were in world the next year. So in
No,
basically one season they went from A
I
to
thought they
world.
won. I thought they won open for some reason, but
I
they
don't,
definitely got a medal. Yeah,
yeah.
they definitely got a medal. Okay, yeah, and then they were in world class for a couple years,
Yep.
and
Yeah, they didn't make finals the next year, but then they were fourth the year after that with the umbrellas. Remember the big umbrellas in the back
no, they
corner?
made finals in 2001.
Did they?
It
Oh, maybe I'm thinking they just they
it was
medal.
this. It was the Philip Glass. So what's funny is actually Pope High School this year, when it popped up on the screen, I thought for a second, I was like, did they say that? Did they have those props in storage? Because from 2001, because it's all blues, and 2001 was
Was that when they did the When You Wish Upon a Star, the constellations?
it was constellations. Yes,
Yeah, because they
yeah,
had
and
the
they had
props
like
that
these
made music.
chimes, and it was gorgeous. It
Yeah.
was, yeah, stunning. Yeah, but yeah, they I remember that because they were in our local circuit, and so we saw them a couple times. But yeah, they had these ramps down front that was like, oh. But anyway, yeah.
See, like I said, we're old gardener. It's like we'll pull out shows.
Oh,
We'll
I've
start
got.
there.
Ooh, there was this one group in 1994 that had this one flag, and I have it in my closet because. Oh, I love it. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So, who was your third medalist? You
I
said
don't.
Lockport. Lockport.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go Little Elm and Lockport. Those are my three. Yep.
All right. Well, let's move over to Independent Open.
Hey, this is
This is my favorite class, I think, of the year. Well, I don't know. I like Scholastic World too. I don't know. I like a lot of classes this year.
honestly, this is, and I was gonna kind of say this for the end, but I'm like, this whole year, just across the board, just every single class, all six classes, I have just been blown away. I mean, every group is so good.
Yeah.
These performers, kids performers, wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I try not to call them kids.
Well, I mean,
I feel
high
like
school,
it. Yeah,
but
no, I
but
know.
but
We're old.
yeah,
We're over
well,
40. They
well,
are
right,
kids to us,
but
but
yeah, no, every single group, just it is just wow. I mean, like, yeah, I love it. It's just so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Independent Open. This one I struggled with,
Okay.
because I just think there's too many to you got to pick five, right? You get
Yeah. Yes.
same with Independent World. They're like I got to pick five of these. So I think my top three is a lock,
Okay.
which is Phoenix, Third Legend, and Lavoot. I have them. Those are my medalists. I think Lavoot is due. I think they've been due. I don't know what happened last year. Like I think they were seated first or second last year.
Oh.
And then I don't know if they just had a bad prelims run or what, but then they got to Dayton and they were like sixth in prelims. Like what? Like
Yeah.
they were supposed to like I thought they were
That
the
show last year,
favorite.
that was a stunning production
Yeah,
last year too.
that's right. And that's when I was like, they were sixth. And then I think they ended up fifth overall, but I was just like, really? So I think Lavuda's due. I think so Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Third Legend, absolutely. They're both all three of those are great shows. I'm gonna go with Noir Independent for my top five as well. Mainly because they're one of they're surging, right? They seem to be going backwards for a little bit mid-season. Like they went to the Huntsville regional, got like an 80 in prelims, and they got a 79 in finals. Then they went to another regional and got like a 78. And I'm like, their scores going the wrong direction. Like I don't know what was happening. And they had a killer finals run at the Georgia Power Regional, the Southeast Power
Okay.
Region. It was hot. And I'm like, they look good. So
Love it.
I have them in my five. And then I'm going to go kind of another sleeper pick outsider, if you want to say, with Revival.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have Allegiance, New JMU Nuance, and Revival right there. I'm like, which one of these? I think Revival's been hanging back and, like rehearsal weekends and tweaking. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of like taking that instead of them going out to shows. Like they're pounding away to, get there. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to put Noir and Revival in my top five. I think Nuance at sixth.
Okay.
I do. I would love to put them higher. They are local guard, and I know the people that do the guard, the whole program over there. So, but I think Phoenix and Third Legend are the standouts of the class. I think Lavoot is just a little bit behind them. And then you have Noir, and then I'm going to pick Noir and Revival. But yeah, my medalists are, I think Phoenix is going to win. And that pains me to say, I love Third Legend. I have so many friends at the Third Legend. I went to the rehearsal at the at the Power Regional, and they let me try out their benches, which are insanely hard, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, those they like rock back and forth and
Yeah, they are super unstable. They don't look like it, but they are super unstable. So
oh,
like when they lean one way and throw a quad and then lean the other way, like they let me get on it and just said, just try going side to side. And I was like, my God, this is difficult.
uh-uh.
And
No,
they're
thank
throwing
you.
45 tosses on flags and leaning over. I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
so it's just like, yeah, I mean, and it's so good. But I just think Phoenix has that little extra. I think it's gonna be tight, but I think Phoenix wins. I'm
Okay.
sorry to the people at Third Legend. You guys know I love you. I would love for you to win, but you know, I gotta make a prediction here. So, and then I have Lavute in the top three as well.
Okay.
I think they've been due for a medal. So,
Hmm.
I like the way the show builds. It's a slow burn show, which I like because it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, they start soft, and then they're blowing your face off by the end of the show. Who do you got for your top five?
I have Lavute also. Yeah, there God, I'd still Lavute struck me really early in the season. I guess that first regional they were out, or at least when I saw them. And then every single other time that I've seen them, they have probably one of the best flag features this season. It is
Mm.
just I don't know what it is about it, but it just I'm always just like, oh, this gives
Yeah.
me all the things I need in a flag feature. So kudos to the Lavute folks because
Yeah.
that flag feature's fab.
Well, I think it's the coloring too,
Oh
take out
yeah.
the choreography, just look at the design and like the
Mhm.
color combinations of the flags and the way they stage it. It's very pleasing to the eye,
It
and
always helps.
I think it's a big part of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, love it. So yeah, so them and then I'm gonna say Noir also from Georgia. Love them. I have Phoenix from Ohio. That show gets me every time. I am just like it's so cool.
I
Uh,
love the mirrors.
oh my gosh. It just again, the timing of the mirrors blows me away. If you want
Yes.
to move or they are moving those things from one place to another and it is in time and it's like, oh, yes ma'am, you get it. I love it. It's so good.
I
Uh,
also want to know how they haven't broken one this season, or if they have.
or if they have right.
Right. Like how
Like
many of these do you
do you
have?
have a practice mirror and a show mirror? What do we do we have like
Because on the
how do
chance
we
you
do
guys
that?
haven't seen the show, these are like 4 foot by 8 foot mirrors. They're
Oh, at
huge.
least they look even bigger than I mean, yeah, they're massive.
Yeah, giant rectons.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, because they lay them down, they stand them up, they move them, they like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's so cool. So we have them. I also have Third Legend, loving that. Yay, Canada. And then I've got JMU in
Oh,
as well. Yes. That yeah, that 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 on the rock show with their bourbon or whiskey in a glass, and I'm like,
their whiskey
come
drop.
on, I love it.
You're like you're speaking to me, right? You're speaking my language.
I'll pour a glass with it when I watch it. It's so
It's
good.
very good. So I will say with JMU,
Mhm.
and I think this is really true for all the guards. It's so much better in person.
Oh, I can
Like
imagine.
the flow camera, like I was telling you that I watched Amp. I was there for
Oh,
Amp,
yeah, yeah.
which is just so much fun. So much fun. And it's just, I mean, I was just beaming and, you know, bouncing up and down with all the music. But then I watched it on Flow and I'm like, this is kind of disappointing on Flow, but it's the angle that you can't see the
It's just
equipment. The
yeah,
music was muffled. I'm like, Flow, come on, people are paying like hundreds of dollars for this. Like, can we get some better?
yeah.
Oh, and I also told you this too. So when I went to the regional, I found the Flow camera. I'm like, I want to see where it is.
Oh, yeah, like where yeah. And it was up in like that upper corner, right?
It's in the, you know, top corner, and it's a camera like this big. It is
Oh,
like maybe 12 inches long, 6 inches wide on this little rinky dink tripod. And there's a guy sitting next to it
oh,
that's just like, you know, he'll zoom in, you know, when you're watching it zooms in a little bit or it zooms back out.
yes.
And I'm like, this is the Flow camera. Like I was expecting
Same.
like a
I
bigger
mean,
setup.
I will say, I mean, well, you were there live. I was watching at home. It actually wasn't too bad in terms of just the quality was really good. But yeah, it was that angle was funny. As a guard nerd, I did enjoy it a little bit more, only because you could see the angles of
Mm.
like tosses and stuff. So that was kind of fun because it was like, wow, they really are incredible. Oh my goodness. So that was kind of fun. But it's funny that yeah, it's like, oh, She's up in the corner.
Yeah, and it's such a tiny camera. I'm like, really? Like, I was expecting like some big TV camera. Nope. Little camcorder you'd have at home almost. I mean,
So my top five is Third Legend, Phoenix, Levoot, Noir, and JMU. Yeah, and then medalists, Third Legend, Phoenix, and Levoot.
okay. Yep. So we're on the same page there.
Yeah, that class is just going to be fun. I can't wait to see it how it plays out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And crowd's going to lose their mind for the whiskey dunk, like
the whiskey dunk and the yeah, that's
yeah. So I mean, obviously that's become insanely popular on TikTok and stuff like that. When they entered the gym, the stands went nuts when they just saw the glass, because the glass is the first thing that wheels in, before the floor.
Sure.
All the kids just started losing their mind. They're like, "Oh my god, this is the show! This is the show!" They were so excited. So
that's so cool that they got to see that too. That's a fun experience.
Yeah,
for those performers and stuff. That's awesome.
Aww. All right, so Independent Open is locked in. Let's move to Scholastic World. And then you get to go first on this one. So, we didn't mention Independent Open. There are 35 groups.
35.
So 15 make finals, like we said, 35 in prelims. Scholastic World, we only have 21 groups in prelims, and they are doing a 15 in finals.
So. Actually, 20. Palm Desert dropped out, unfortunately. The other day, I looked and I was like, oh, wait, they're not.
Probably didn't want to have to pay to haul those windmills all over across the country.
Oh my gosh, all those windmills. But yeah, I was kind of bummed. I was looking forward to seeing it again because they had a neat season. I think they were a good competitor out there. That show was fun to watch with those windmills and the storyline. They did a great job with that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But, well, okay, so we have 20 groups.
Yes, 20 groups.
And probably all will make semis, which mean all have to stay in Scholastic World.
Right.
So if you don't know the rule, if you make semifinals, you have to stay in your class. You can't. I mean, I'm sure you can petition to move down, but I think they're going to be like
extenuating circumstances type of stuff. I'm sure. But yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So
yeah. So
if you move forward in that, then you're there for another season.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So some of these groups that are kind of hanging on to World, just because they kind of have to, because they keep making semis. So, who do you have for your top 5 for Scholastic World?
So top 5, this is going to be a doozy of a. I mean, the top 10.
Yeah.
15. I mean, good grief. I mean, the whole batch is just really wow. Probably one of my favorite Scholastic World, just top to bottom in a long time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just every regional I tuned in to watch, or if I saw them live, like it was just every single group that was in that class was just doing some really cool stuff. It was great. Very, very world class all around. It was really cool. But my top 5, I have the Woodlands from Texas, Flanagan from Florida, Arcadia from California, El Dorado from California, and Carmel from Indiana.
I have the exact same top 5. I have the exact same top 5. Yep.
I had some notes about it.
Please share.
Yeah, okay. So this class especially, and kind of in my fun things at the end of all this that I'll share too, but like this class has several dark horses that could crack into that top 5. This has got to be Northview's best season since 1999 when they were in the top 5. I don't know if they've been top 5 after that. I can't remember. But
they were close. I think they were 6th.
Close, but like
mid 2000s. Yeah.
Just on fire. It is wild. And of course, Warren Central. We cannot forget them and that powerful show.
Yes.
And wow. Yeah, they are. So what is that? So top 7.
That's 7.
It's gonna be wild to see how it shakes out. At least in my mind for that. But yeah, so it's exciting. So, but you had the same top.
I have the exact same top 5. Yeah, I was like, I love Warren Central so much. I don't see it passing these other guards.
it felt like the they seemed it was like the intensity was still very much there at the East Power Regional, but prelims and finals both it did seem a little more shaky than we had seen earlier in the season. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're just exhausted. I mean, they have been go go go
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah. And that was like a almost an 11-hour drive for them to
Ooh,
get to the regional. Like that's, that's
it's a
tough,
lot. It's just a lot.
it's a lot. Like we
Yeah.
said, they've been going hard. And yeah, their prelims run was tough.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
still
care. I
fabulous. I mean,
loved it. Yeah.
there's nothing bad about it. It was, but just but yeah, they just seemed a little tired, which I can completely understand.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, I couldn't do. I have to say though, I didn't notice this until watching the East Power Regional, and that whole what full 60 seconds ish of that performer in the back just,
The drop spins.
and I was clapping at my TV so loud for her. I was just like, that is so good. I
It's
just
8 sets
love
of 16. I counted it. I went
eight
back. I was like,
seconds.
how long is she
All
doing
right.
these drop
Well,
spins?
it was great, and they have a fan right here for that one because I will clap all the time for that. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's just that was really really,
It's a nice touch. It's stupid because she's just doing drop spins, but it
but like
works so
wow,
well. Yeah.
wow, yeah. I mean the pulse in the down and the up with the music is just spot
Yeah.
on. Love that. Um, yeah, this class is going to be really fun. Just oof. Top to bottom. Who's gonna be 15th? I don't know. I don't care. It's gonna be great. Like who's
Yeah, like who doesn't make finals? I guess that's the harder
I
prediction, with this because only five don't make it since Palm Desert's not there.
mean, I can tell you who I want to make finals just in general, but I haven't seen Live Oak, California. I know they've gone to at least two regionals, I think, but I've not seen them. I
Yeah, I haven't seen them either.
haven't seen American Fork, which this is their first year in World.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, Ayala, American Fork, and Centerville were the open guards that
Are
were
the ones
promoted.
that have
Yep.
moved on to the world class, yeah. Which and they've all except for American Fork, I think Ayala's been a world class before, Centerville's been
Yes.
before. Like
Yes. Mhm.
that's kind of fun to see. Like, oh, you're back
They're
here.
they're getting back up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I could logically, just how the season has gone, I could probably say, oh, these will be the ones that don't crack the top 15. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's gonna be
It's gonna be tight at the bottom.
very yeah, very exciting. Yeah.
Who are your medalists?
Who's gonna get a medal? Let's see. I have try to underline. I have the Woodlands. Won't say which medal, but
I will.
I
I will.
would love them to be bring home that gold. That show and those it's something. Flanagan, and I think it's gonna be Arcadia.
Okay. So that's where we differ ever so slightly.
We're covering the coasts here. We're
Yeah.
getting the boop boop boop. We're getting you know.
Instead of Arcadia, I have El Dorado medaling.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, see, I
they've
just
been
got chills. I'm like, ooh, that's exciting. I love it. Oh, I love
they've been
that.
sneaking up on Arcadia, and they were like a tenth or two behind them at the last
I mean, they
regional.
have been so close together all season. It's so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And El Dorado just, I mean, their show is so beautiful. And the first 2 minutes having absolutely zero pulse,
oh, that's
no
so
beat, and it's the spoken word and it's
it's stunning.
flawless. Like, I mean,
And then
that
they end.
alone.
I'm not gonna lie, and I cried anything, but like, but this last that was I guess the West Power Regional. Oh goodness, I got teary eyed at the end when they come up to the front in that arc and they hold hands and I was just like, oh my gosh, yes, please. It was so good, just very very moving performance. But yeah,
Yeah, it's just tough because we haven't seen Flanagan.
right.
They're in Florida.
Seen pictures and little snippets on Instagram, but
Yeah, and WGI decided for some reason not to do a flow Florida regional for some. I mean, come on, Flo is in
That's
Florida.
a
Like, let's
question I
go.
have. I don't know how that works though. Who's actually deciding? Is it WGI or is it flow marching? Who's deciding what's going
It's
to be the
probably
flow?
both. They probably get together and they look at the
Yeah,
schedule and who's where. I mean, obviously, you're going to do the indie regional because so many world guards. I mean, you have like 9 Scholastic World, 5 Independent Worlds that are there. You're going to do the power regionals, makes sense. But I'm like, Florida is a huge hub. Like,
yeah. Those
I
schools
was
are.
shocked they did Salem. I was happy they did Salem because I was able to watch it, but I was
It
shocked
was.
they did Salem for televised.
It was a good regional. I enjoyed watching it.
I mean, that's how I found Third
It,
Legend, and
but
I
it
got to see
was.
Fusion early and whatnot. But
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. But oh well. Um,
so I mean, but they've been 2 pointing Tarpon Springs every regional.
and Tarpon wasn't bad. I mean, so it's like, whew, Flanagan
Right. I mean, it's
there.
Tarpon, right? Yeah, they're not, even though they're
Well,
not going
and
to
let's
Dayton,
not
they're not
forget
going to
old
phone it in.
Stoneman Douglas. They're in there. They're in the mix too. They were hanging in there. I
Yeah.
saw again just some clips of that too. They're doing some wild stuff. They've got boxes that they are in and out and under and behind and on top. And they're I don't know what it was, but I was like, whew, they are getting some super duper creative points with this box.
Prop season, huh?
No kidding. Yeah. But,
Yeah, but I think I'm just saying I think Woodlands wins, and I think they win easily. Kind
okay.
kind of like Avon last year. I think it's going to be like
At least a good point or two.
it's going to be a good point or two over second. I saw this at the Austin Regional early March, and I was mad because I thought they were grossly underscored.
Yeah.
It's so good. The level of training on these
It's
kids, these young
wild.
adults,
It's
is
wild. It really
and
is.
the reason the kicker for me is the saber rotations. Like,
Uh,
everybody you've seen a perfectly clean flag toss. You know how like awesome that looks. Now
right.
imagine a perfectly clean saber six where you have like 12 kids storing it.
And you can see that hilt going
Yes, you see them
bam,
rotate the
like,
same. It's
ooh.
crazy.
Yeah.
And just like the other guards, the prop work is absolutely insane.
Plus those chairs and the way that they
I want to know how heavy those are. They lift those and twirl them around. They cannot be light, but they obviously, they can't be
but
that heavy either with the way they move
yeah,
them.
I wonder if they like are they quote unquote real? Like did they take them out of
They
um
look real.
whatever they are, or did someone make them? Yeah, 'cause that's like
Yeah, are they made out of like PVC with like chrome tape
right, are
on them or
they right?
something?
Yeah, who who's their prop parents that are super ingenious to make
Yeah.
this stuff? I don't know, but
Do you
yeah.
remember West Johnston High School back in the day when they got
Yeah.
up to World? So one of their dads, one of the guard dads, was
Yeah.
a metal worker and a welder.
Oh
So
wow.
they always had these super ornate metal props on the floor, and the dad would make them
Okay.
because he was like a
Imagine
master
how
metal
heavy
worker.
those were.
So it's just like maybe Woodlands has a connection like that.
Maybe.
I
I
mean,
mean,
they have so many kids in the program, especially with their A guard. I mean,
I think
I'm
this
sure.
past month they had 50, 60 on the field. So
I mean, they have like I don't know how many in the world on indoor, maybe
I think
35,
36, I think
and then
35,
there's like
36.
yeah,
And
and
then
there's like 40 in the A guard in
and
indoor.
they
Like
and that's just because I think they have a third guard that we don't ever see.
like
So
a cadet or a junior guard.
that
Yeah,
junior team, yeah. So they're
yeah,
doing some cool stuff over there. But yeah.
yeah. I've got Woodlands winning, and then I'm gonna go with Flanagan for a medal. I just, sleeper pick. They're just the way they're scoring. I do think Florida, that Orlando region was a little overscored, based on looking at some of the other world programs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna shock people. Adam Sage is working with them. And they're clearly doing very well. Like
Yeah.
them 2 pointing Tarpon Springs twice at two
Not
different
an
regionals.
accident.
That's not right. That's not an accident. That's
Yeah.
not like some judge like, oh, I just really like this one. Like
Yeah. I'm realizing as we're talking about this, especially this class, like, I mean, obviously, you have the whole Indiana Ohio bunch who see each other frequently through
Mhm.
the season, but then, yeah, they have none of these other groups have even seen each other
No,
as far as at the same event.
yeah.
So it's gonna be so much fun. I'm just like, this is just it's just so exciting to see. Like this is going to be really fun to watch. What happens with this?
Yeah, round three Scholastic World is the cutthroat one. You've got Woodlands, Arcadia, Northview, and Norwin all going on back to back to back to back.
American Fork is supposedly really good. I haven't seen them, but I would expect that they're going to be really.
And Stoneman Douglas is in that group.
So Live Oak, I don't know, but Live Oak's been in Scholastic World for a few years now, which is interesting. But I don't know how they're looking, but that's a fun lineup in that round at least.
Yeah, and then round two you've got Eldorado and Flanagan. So
and Chino Hills, they're having a good go, and Miamisburg too. I mean the whole.
I like Miamisburg this year, and I don't know why people don't seem to like them. I like their show this year.
Yeah, it's just a good.
Yeah, it's nothing mind blowing, right? It's not like Warren Central or like Arcadia that's really in depth and concept.
It's not. Yeah, it's not reaching up and grabbing you and be like, oh, you're gonna, it's not that vibe. It's maybe more subtle and that sort of thing, and that can be hard to, especially through a TV if that's where you're watching it. It can be hard to grasp and to feel like you're enjoying, but no, they're gorgeous though. My goodness, that tarp and the way the flags, right? It's love that. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah. So
all right, the big old IW.
The big old IW. All right, and so we have 30 groups in IW. 15 make finals, so you have a 50% chance of making finals.
All right, folks. That's actually not bad, I guess, really.
I mean, well, let's be real. I mean, when you take out like the top 7 or 8, what are your odds of actually making it? Because Pride, Fantasia, like let's review,
okay. Who's that? Oh, okay, well, yeah.
So all the 16 to 30 guards, that is a bloodbath for those bottom spots. This one was tough because you have 6 guards that are just stacked on top of each other score wise, and we know rankings, blah blah blah. They don't really mean a whole lot, but just the way everybody has been scoring all season. You have Paramount, Etude, Fantasia, Pride, Fusion, and Blessed Sack, all like tight, like super tight. They're all within like a point of each other in the rankings.
Yeah.
And we remember last year where the top 4 were like 5/10 apart going into finals.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
yeah. It was 4 guards, 5/10 of a point. Who's going to get the medals?
Didn't 2 of them flip? And when they actually announced the final.
Yeah, so Etude was 4th in semis. Paramount was 2nd. Or no, sorry, SAC was 2nd. Paramount was 3rd, I believe. Etude jumped to 2nd. Paramount had a 10th of a point penalty that cost them a medal. They would have tied with Blessed Sack if there wasn't that penalty.
Oh, gosh.
And I don't know I'm assuming the penalty is overtime because I watched the show and I saw the top down camera only. Nobody went over the front line.
That's one thing I always wish, even with like marching band stuff, I'm always like, what was it for? Like, what happened though? Like, I want to know what happened. Like, what was it? Like,
especially these guards to get these 10-point penalties at the regional. You're like, what did you do to get a 10-point penalty?
But okay, go ahead with what do you got?
Okay, so my top 4 are Pride, Etude, Paramount, and Fantasia.
Okay.
My 5th spot was where I struggled, and I kept going back between Fusion and Blessed Sack. I like both shows. When I think back to last year with what happened at finals, Fusion ended up winning out pretty easily. When you win the grand scheme of things, going in, it was super tight. Then they ended up winning by almost 2 points. And I really think it was because they were clean. The other 3 had shaky runs, and it could have been pressure. It could have been people dealing with the norovirus that was flying around everywhere that took AMP out of finals. Like,
yes.
So maybe people just weren't 100%. But seeing them both at the Power Regional, I know Fusion was only 4/10 ahead or something like that. They're way cleaner than SAC. So I'm gonna pick Fusion for my top 5 because just for the cleanliness thing. I mean, I like SAC's show, I really do. I think Fusion's just that little bit better.
Well, and you saw them both live in person, so that's cool. I haven't seen any of those groups live, so I'm your perspective of that is yeah, that's good because SAC through the TV doesn't give much of anything to me. Which is
no, they're good live. Yeah, I mean The problem is they're still droppy. Like when I saw them in Salem, they were droppy. I'm like, okay, it's the first week of February. Of course they're going to be droppy.
Yeah.
But it's still just, they do a lot with their weapons, and their
Right.
flag line is an afterthought, which bothers me because I love flag and fusion. Their flag line is not an afterthought. Um, Fusion's cleaner. I
Yep.
think the difficulty is there for SAC. SAC has the difficulty edge, of
Mhm.
what they're doing. But Fusion, I think, wins out just because, they may not be doing things that is as hard. I think they move way better. Fusion moves beautifully,
Mhm.
but they're cleaner.
This is interesting because I don't normally think of SAC as movers, dancers. They're more spinners,
Yeah, they're a Boston guard. Yeah.
right, right. But this year, I did notice, I was like, I actually kind of like the movement that they're doing. That part to me is more engaging than anything else, which is kind of interesting to, but
Yeah, the show has a very distinct style, which I think helps.
Mhm.
It's a
And maybe
very,
that's what I'm getting, is maybe it's that style.
very sassy, very shouldery,
And they do
like,
seem to be performing it really well. Like
oh
the
yeah, absolutely.
energy of it is very strong, which is cool.
And the pink fans are so cool. My only complaint about the pink fans is they pull them out and then they put them away. Like I
Oh,
was
see,
like, I
have they
want
had them all
more.
season? Have they done
Yes.
it? Okay, because the East Power, I was like, wait a minute, where'd this fan come from? So
and
I
they
did
and they rip the crap out of them too. They have to be
that.
vinyl. There's
Whack.
no way those are cloth. They have to be a vinyl because if they slap,
Yeah.
I mean, it is loud. It's such a cool
Oh,
sound. And it's a
that's
rip.
awesome.
Yeah.
That in Dayton's gonna be fun. That'll fill that arena
Oh
really.
yes.
Oh, that's cool.
That's my top five. My medalists. I have this. This was the really hard part of picking who's gonna medal.
Mhm.
I pick Pride, Paramount, and Fantasia.
Ooh, okay.
And that hurts my heart because I wanted to pick Etude so bad. I love Etude so much, and I love their flag line and everything. Fantasia is my sleeper pick, even though
Hmm.
they're like second in the rankings or something like that. But it's just like there's just something about them. They have like an X factor this year. I want to say is just watching them, and I love it. So I'm going to give them a medal. I think Pride, just the way the show's designed, the way it's laid out, they do so much in such a small area. They cut their floor, thankfully.
Oh, they did. So now it actually is a
And
circle.
now it actually is a circle. Yes.
Okay,
I,
cool.
I wonder if that was the plan or if they got feedback from the judges. Like you pull out this full
But
floor, but you only use the circle in the middle of it.
right,
You
the
know,
negative space thing on the edges is something that's like, no,
right.
that was only literally just a circle. So
Yeah. So it's literally just only the
okay,
circle.
that's cool.
Um, and Paramount, I think Paramount One is going to be out for blood after last year. After they just missed a medal. And I think Etude and Fusion are going to miss it by like a tenth of a point. I think you're going to see even SAC probably miss a medal by like a couple tenths. I think 4 through 6 are going to be less than a point behind third.
That's wow.
I think it's going to be that tight.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Fusion winning again this year. I think especially with Pride and I mean and Fantasia. I mean Fantasia's better than last year, and they were good last year.
Yeah, and that I was just gonna say, when you mentioned they haven't, they've like, it feels like they
And they
haven't
spin a flag, yeah.
ever. Right, they
And
haven't
they spin a
like,
flag this year,
yeah.
and it's
I feel like it
beautiful.
started last year, was like a very powerful Fantasia show, and I, so this, there's like they're building upon it for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's kind of, they really, yeah.
So that's who I've got for Independent World.
All
What do you
right,
have?
so I have top five. I have Etude, gorgeous. I love a
Mm-hmm.
British show, so and they're, yeah, you're right. That flag line from Etude, whew, they are
Killer.
giving it to us.
I think their flag line is better than their weapon line.
Sure, why
I
not?
do.
I
I
love
just
it.
it's
I'm
it's
here for
that
it.
good.
I'm absolutely here for it. Fantasia, love. I'm a bit obsessed with that. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. Uh, Paramount, and then I do have Fusion in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have Pride.
And Pride. Okay. So
Yeah,
you're the same five. Yeah.
yeah. Who's gonna get a medal? I'm gonna say Etude,
I hope so.
Asia, and Paramount.
Okay.
I don't know if
Yeah. I know the judges don't play favorites, but whenever Pride is out, they're always up there. And
it's hard. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be so tight, so tight. Now watch, we say this, and so it's going to be like 2 points between each card.
or none of those will be. It's like so who
Right.
it's a whole. It's just that where everything's completely thrown off and everything's wrong. I don't know. Who knows?
Icon wins. Like everybody gets
Sure, why
penalties and
not?
Icon is in first.
Whatever. Oh gosh. Oh my, that would be total. Everything's just completely upended. Um, yeah, it's going to be exciting though for sure. Whatever that top five is, whatever the top 15 is. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the rankings and everything, like 12 to like 19 or 20. I
Hmm.
mean, it's gonna be an absolute bloodbath. These guards trying to make finals.
Yeah.
And we left a section here at the end to kind of add in any other predictions.
Yes, yes.
And one of mine is none of the open guards from last year will make finals. So Georgia, Alta Maria,
Oh, that are
and
in.
Minaj. I don't see any of them making finals. And I think
Excuse me. You said
one
Georgia, Altum.
Alta Maria
Yeah, no, that's right. I forgot. Okay.
and Minaj, and I think one of them is going to be 16.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be. I did see Phoenix Independent, world class. The Phoenix with an F.
Yeah.
uh, it's a gorgeous show. There's something about it that's very captivating, and something about it that I feel like I'm like, not quite, but it's gorgeous to watch, and it's a interesting. They've got some giant props. I'm like, ooh,
You think they're doing like waterfalls or
the
something, right? That's
waterfall.
like,
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the
yeah.
waterfalls and like people that like climb up and then they're sliding down these things. I'm like, ooh,
And I
this.
saw like three shows at the East Power Regional that had these giant slides. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
slides are
The
thing.
one group that did the penguins that they had giant
Yep.
slides.
And
Yes.
then you had Unionville that's doing the Sisyphus show with the boulder up the hill. So they had the big ramp.
That was the boulder, the Coconut Creek boulder that I told you about. If you're old and like us and listening, Coconut Creek from the late '90s had a giant ball, and I was like, Unionville is giving me Coconut Creek vibes with this giant ball. I love it. But yeah, let's see
Do you
what's.
have any other non-class related predictions or just like something that's not top five related?
I just kind of jotted down like I think just kind of dark horses across the board for me that I think
Sure.
and more not that the group is really a dark horse, but just like I would love it. I would be so screaming in my house if it happened. So uh the ones in my mind, Independent A, Sonor,
Yes.
oh,
Oh,
let's say I'm like top 10. Do it. Just do
yeah.
it. It's gorgeous.
I
Love.
have them in finals. I have them in
Yes,
finals.
yes, I think they will definitely make finals. I would love it if they can crack the top 10. It'd just be that'd
They
be
could. I don't see that. I don't see that being a huge stretch.
okay, awesome. We talked about it earlier, but in Scholastic Open Brownsburg,
Yes.
I think they could easily be anywhere in that top six.
Yep. Make some waves. Yep.
Be totally comfortable. Scholastic World, I'm Northview. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just who knows if
I
they
love them too. They look like they have so much
national.
fun on the floor. I do like previous years a little better. I think the shores I think is a little more sophisticated for them.
Sure.
Where I feel like they tend to take more of a fun approach. Not to the levels of Amp and Boxardia,
No, I know what you mean.
but
Yeah.
I think this year they're like, we're gonna go to the other side of the line and go more to the sophisticated line. So it is very good. I
Mhm.
just I love fun shows, and I love when they
So,
last year when they opened up with that body, that Fosse body, that
yeah.
first like 10 seconds. I'm like, I'm done. I sold.
Yes.
You win. I don't need to see anything else. Zooby zooby zoo, and they're the little hand. I'm like, I'm done.
It was so good.
Give them the
And
gold
all the
medal.
boots, they all had the boots and the
Yes.
yes, yeah. They
And then
all
the Fleetwood Mac show the year before, I loved that. Like,
that one. There was the one I think the year before, year or two before that, that was like they had rugs everywhere and they were like I don't know what that was, but it was so fun and gorgeous. Yeah. But my last one I wrote down was Independent World Elevate from Indianapolis.
mm,
Come on, crack that top, get on the tape, as we used to say. Get on
get
the
on the
tape.
tape.
Come on. I think they could do it. They have been a steady little incline all season, and
And
Stacy.
they'd be great for opening world finals too, because their show, they come out of the tunnel and
So
they
great.
immediately engage with the crowd.
They set the tone with their
Yep.
whole production and just bring you into that fair.
Yep.
Yeah, Stacey's done a fab job with them. Shout out to Stacey. Yeah, love that. So those are kind of my fun things. I wrote down some fan favorites. I thought we could like do
Oh, like who's gonna win fan favorite? Okay.
who we think
Okay.
might snatch those across the board a little bit if you want. But
A class is gonna be tough.
I made some real
Okay,
calls on
I'll
A
sure. I didn't prepare this, but I will definitely. I'll pull one out of my rear. Go ahead. We'll start
So
with Scholastic A
yeah, fan favorite Scholastic A, John C. Bartleby.
with the Elvis show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I loved that one.
It was really striking.
Yeah, and they sold me. They had me at the pre-show. This girl got up on the prop and she was doing these like pelvic rocks and everything. And I'm like, I love it. I
And like
love
the
it.
big sweeping guitar strum kind of
Yeah.
thing with the saber. It was really, yeah, it was cool.
Um. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're a fun show. I mean, off of the top five, I'm trying to look at the rankings because I'm like, where'd they go?
I threw you for a loop on
Um,
this one.
but I haven't seen so many of these. No, no fan favorite Ryle High School. Larry A.
Oh,
Ryle.
there we
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Hey, all
I'm
right.
like,
Yes.
wait, who's in there? No, Larry A. Ryle. I
Come
mean,
on, Kentucky. Come on.
with the theatric show, yes.
Yes. I love it. I put Independent A, I put Sonor. Come on. Just why not? I'm so obsessed with them. I'm just giving them all the love with everything.
I'll go Sacred Heart.
Ooh,
It's a
yes.
cutesy show. It's easy to
It's
connect to.
very
People like seasons. It's a
very
very
feel
clear
good.
story.
It's
Yes.
very you get the high quality, you get a good feel. Yeah, I can see that.
It's not a deep think. It's like, oh, it's the
Right.
seasons. I get it. It's beautifully done.
I know I'm gonna clap for it regardless. Yeah.
And then there's no like Ventures Garden. Well, I mean, Ventures is coming. They've come back out this year, but
Yeah.
Ventures always put on like the fan shows.
Yeah, the
So
big super
and I don't
fun.
think there is a guard out there like that this year in Independent A. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah, I like that.
Sacred Heart.
Scholastic Open, Lockport Township, with their kind of I forget what it's called actually, but they've got these. It's just woof. It is a
Palm Desert Charter Middle School.
ooh yes, and that's right, folks. They are coming back. They're back.
Yep.
They're back. They kind
Yep.
of they've been working hard. Yeah, they have a super fun show.
That's who I'm picking for a fan favorite for Scholastic Open.
Okay. Independent Open, I think Phoenix or JMU. It could be, or a tie. We could have a tie.
I'm gonna go with JMU just because of the whiskey dunk.
Whiskey. Yeah.
People just love the whiskey dunk, and
We love
I
it.
love
Yes.
it too. And it's such an emotional show, and for like it's weird. I'm not an emotional person. Like I'm not the happy crier. I'm not the this or that or whatever. Now, granted, I'll watch some of those Disney shorts where they kill off parents all the time like that, and
oh
having
know,
young
so
kids and everything.
Oh my god,
those get me.
yes.
But no, even like watching JMU, like I had a little tingling, like I'm like,
Okay.
and I'm like black-hearted. I don't feel things like so. It's
See,
just
I
like,
cry. I mean, I cry. My plant is growing. This is Robert, and he's been growing like a weed over here, and I'm like crying. I'm like, you're getting so tall. I'm so proud of you.
yeah. So I'll go JMU nuance for
okay. Right.
fan favorite first class independent open.
Perfect. Scholastic World, Warren Central.
Yes. Yep. 100%. Yep.
Total. An Independent World, AMP. Come on,
yeah.
Disco Fever, Palooza.
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
Latrice Royale's doing their opening narration.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
You had me at Latrice. I don't care. I don't care what the rest of the show is.
It is so much fun. Like I would say it's more fun than the Joker show. And I saw the Joker show live.
I saw the Joker show live also, and I've not seen the Disco show live.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. They are so high energy and just
fast. Yes. Yep.
And they are not playing around spinning wise this year.
No,
like
they're very good.
AMP has always taken the entertainment aspect of their show design,
kind
which I love and I appreciate.
And then yeah.
So when I saw they were doing a disco concept, I was like, you know what? If there's a guard that's going to do it, this is the guard that is going to do it. And you know what?
Yeah, you're right. They've really married the entertainment plus the excellence of equipment and movement.
Right. And I mean, the tricks they're pulling out and they're nailing them. Like they're not droppy like they have been in previous seasons. That they have a lot of people on the floor, but it doesn't look as chaotic as like the Alice in Wonderland year.
Yeah, it didn't feel as overwhelming.
Yeah. It's so much fun. The It's Raining Men feature. I mean, I'm just sitting
And
there saying,
I love how I told their I'm not sure if he's like the director or not, but one of their staff people, I told him that I was like, your soundtrack is living rent free in my head right now. I am just like, I've got that the It's Raining, it's pouring, my love life is boring
yes, enough
song,
is
and
enough.
they've got the
Yes.
clear umbrellas, and then it morphs into It's Raining. It's like, it's so, I walk, I've been at work just wandering around work, and I'm that's just in my head on a loop. It's
Yep,
so
going around
funny.
rat tat 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 tat. Because I love how they cut
And the
the to turn the beat around. Yep, and they for the
yes, and then
popcorn
they kind of
feature.
drug out those that moment too to like get some extra toss it up.
Yes,
Yeah, that was super fun.
yeah, and then It's Raining Men. My only issue is with the soundtrack is they cut songs when I want the songs to keep going
I
because
know.
the
I want to
songs
hear
are
the
so
rest
much
of it. I want to
fun.
hear the rest of it. I was just about to say there's a dark horse. Amp top five. Ooh.
Yeah, no, like I
Probably not,
love this show.
but
Love it. It is. I mean, it's gonna run away. Oh, here's my other prediction.
yeah.
Everywhere Amp goes at Dayton, they will be in masks because they do not want a repeat of last year.
Oh, I was thinking like disco mask. What is
No,
it?
no, they're gonna be in
No,
like
I right.
the
They will be
N95
protected. Yes, they will be full blown. Yeah.
personal protection because I mean, for anybody who doesn't know it, Dayton, norovirus was rampant last year. I mean, it was flying around. I mean, so many of my friends' guards, they were all like, but they were all like, oh, we have one kid that has it, two kid that has it. Amp had 25 people get hit by it. That's why they couldn't make finals. Like they literally could not get onto the floor. So it's just like I know this year they're gonna be like, that is not happening. We are gonna be in a COVID bubble at Dayton. Like we are not missing out on finals again.
Get their disco sequin clear bubble thing, and they can all be in it together and just
And
sit
the
there.
uniforms are so hot. I got to see them up close. Like literally, I saw them like
And,
in the hallway.
yes, the
Yeah.
pictures that I've seen, it looks so good, and I think it's like 40 individual. Like everyone's outfit is different.
Yes. Yeah. They're all silver. They have like a silver,
Huh.
like a velour, and then there's sequin, and there's like maybe a stretch spandex incorporated in there. But yeah, everybody's different.
I love
Everybody,
it
but
so much.
except for like the dance line, the beginning all have the same fur jacket at the
Yes,
beginning.
that's right. They yeah, that little
It looks
fuzzy
like a zebra print.
fuzzy
Yeah.
jacket or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, it's oh my god.
It's so good.
I
So
love
much fun. So many props, so many lights.
it.
And the show is
That
long.
I didn't know. I didn't notice that until I guess it might have been finals, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, we're like in the club, and
Yes.
they've set the edges, and so this is yeah, the lights. It's yeah, and yes, it's long. It's probably what 7 minutes,
I think it is a 7 minute
maybe,
show.
or
Yeah. Yeah.
pushing that.
They're pushing
Yeah.
7 minutes. I was sitting right behind the judges and I could see their tape screens. So I
Hmm.
could see the timers on it. And I saw
Yeah.
one judge, he was at like 7:17 when the music was ending.
Whew, wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
That's a
and they
lot
have a
of
crap ton of
performing to do.
props. So it's like you have
A
3 minutes
lot.
to get on and off the floor.
Woo, goodness.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
amp. Oh, yeah.
I love it. That's so fun. Yeah, I can't wait. I took Friday off work I took off work next Friday. So I can watch all of semis and then A class finals, of course. But so I'm gonna be glued to my glued to
Yes.
my TV all weekend long. Any other crazy whatevers that your stuff you wanted to
No, I mean, the only one I think I kind of mentioned this earlier. I think one, maybe two guards are going to run away with their class. I
that's
think
right.
Noblesville is going to kind of run away, be a point or two ahead of second. And
Yep.
honestly, I think Woodlands too.
Okay.
I think Woodlands is just going to, I think they're going to be like Avon and steamroll.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to score like Avon because it's not the same kind of show.
Sure.
The judges don't respond to the shows like this. I find, it that's a whole separate conversation. You always feel like the softer, more sophisticated, the ballady
All
shows
those
tend to
lyrical
tend to
big.
score higher.
Yeah.
Maybe not the place the same, but the score just tends to be higher for those kinds of shows.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch Woodlands, your mind's just going to be absolutely blown. Your brain's just going to explode. You're going to be like, these are high schoolers.
Yeah.
High schoolers. I you want a bubble super bold prediction?
Go
If
for it.
if you took Woodlands and moved them to independent world, top 8 without changing anything. Just
Yeah. Oh
literally
yeah.
take the kids,
Easy.
put them in independent world. I'd almost say top five, but then I'm like, no, I don't know if they beat
It
Fusion.
might be a little bit of a stretch, but
But
wow.
they're that good.
And they would ease. I think they would still get a good 90 plus
Yes.
score in independent world.
Yes, I
Oh
agree.
yeah. I mean,
It is that good.
they are
And,
doing
and they're
full blown world
spinning.
class level stuff. It is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of like crazy skills, I can't wait. And I've got them. I had them making it into semifinals. The final stuff, who knows? We'll see what happens with Scholastic A. But I believe it's. Let me see if I can find it really quick. It's a guard from California, Great Oak Varsity
Oh,
from.
the Jetson show?
Yes,
Yeah.
they are serving some classic marching band style drill. Those kids are running around the floor and spinning and I was like, brace yourself. It is a journey, and it is so good.
And they're in Judy Jetson
They are
costumes
in
and
Judy Jetson costumes. They've got the sound effects. It is a blast. So I'm
yeah.
like, I hope they make finals just because it'll just be fun to have the crowd reaction to that. But no, but those they are really, really incredible performers to watch, especially
Yeah.
just that mix of.
I think I was looking at them. I think they're in round one for Scholastic A.
Yes, yeah, they go last. Yep,
So we'll see. I mean, that
yeah,
is just prelims,
they're in
so they should
round
be
one
fine.
with Ryle.
That's right. Ryle got an early
And
spot too.
Liverpool, New York is in that one too. That's that voting show that we talked about before.
Oh yeah, I liked that one.
Women's
Yeah,
voting.
the
It's
women's voting.
it's very pretty. Yeah, it's very well done. Yeah, they do a really good job with that.
Oh, last prediction. This one
Oh,
I forgot.
okay.
How many Hope Guards make finals?
Ooh.
What's your over under on Hope Guards
Oh,
making
that
finals?
okay. So wait, actually, so let's see. So let's just recap really quick because I know I'm thinking immediately of three. We've got Phoenix Independent and Open. We've got Warren Central and World. There's also James Bowie from Texas in Scholastic Open.
And then Juxtaposition uses it.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
they don't do the whole song. They have it
okay,
in the
but it's in there.
first. They use like I want to say they use it for half their show.
Okay, okay, I did not catch that. Okay, so that's
So you have
four.
you have a guaranteed three. I mean, you got
I think
Juxtaposition,
at
Warren
least
Central, and
Phoenix.
Phoenix. I mean, barring some 30-point penalty, they're making finals. you know.
My gosh. Ew. Let's not predict that. Yikes. That would be scary.
So I'll say over under 5.5. What do you think? I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna say I'm
say
gonna say four.
you're gonna say 4. Okay, so I'll take the over. I'll
Sure,
say more
four.
than 4 make. I'll say more than 5.5 make finals.
Okay.
I think there's 11
I'm gonna
going.
have to pay really close attention when I watch finals and make sure I keep
Right.
it tallied.
Well, I don't think it'll be hard because you'll hear that hope and you'll be like,
Well,
oh my
that's true.
God. Here we go again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm on my
Yes.
way. God, and it's such a shame because when I saw Warren Central do it, I was sold. I was like, I think Phoenix did it first
Immediately.
at the Indie Regional because they were open, yeah. But
Yes, that's right.
I missed
And their
Phoenix.
treatment is different too, which
Yes.
helps. It doesn't feel like it's the same thing because they've treated it differently.
Right. And then Warren Central came out and I immediately fell in love. And I was like, this is my favorite show of the season. I absolutely love it. And honestly, I still kind of stand by that, even though I don't have my top five. They're my favorite.
But
And then Milford came on literally right after them
Milford's doing it. That's
and
right.
did it again. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, uh-oh.
Hide
hide and seek.
Classic A that's doing it.
There's Havelock High School. I don't know if they're on the schedule. I thought they were.
Okay.
They're out of North Carolina.
Oh.
They're going. Then you have is Chino High School in? I don't think Chino's going.
Chino is not. Chino Hills is here, but not Chino.
Okay, so Chino is doing it, but they won't be there. I
Okay.
Squared is doing it. They will be there. Independent Open final. Sorry, Independent Open.
Okay.
James Bowie. Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
That's crazy.
You said James T. Burns, right? I think you said.
No, James Bowie is doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Burns. I don't think Burns is doing it. I was going to give a quick shout out in Scholastic A. The group that came the farthest, I think, is going to go to I think they're in here. Mililani from
There's Classic Open.
Oh, so it's Scholastic Open.
Yeah, Mililani
From Hawaii.
Yes.
Yes, so that's cool. That's super fun. I love that. And we didn't talk about this in Independent Open. The Pride of the Netherlands is coming.
Yes, Pride Netherlands is
Which
coming.
has anyone seen them? I don't think so.
No, I haven't. I have no idea what they're
I've
doing.
seen I follow them on Instagram, so I've seen pictures, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Um,
they're in round two, I think.
Two or three.
I think they're in the evening group. The evening rounds is the first one
Okay,
because there's
that'll be
independent open so screwy. So what sucks for independent open is so like third legend is at Nutter Center for prelims.
oh, that's right, because they did split them up, didn't they?
Yep, and then semis for all of independent open is at Nutter Center. So you're gonna have independent open guards that don't get in Dayton Arena till finals.
Oof, jeez.
But Phoenix is the morning group. Phoenix is in for independent. They are in UD Arena.
Yes, they're with Pride of the Netherlands. They're in that round.
Okay, so Pride's in there.
With JMU and
Yeah, so they are all in UD Arena, and then the other two groups
okay.
are in Nutter Center at night or Cintas, one of the two.
Let's I've got it right here in my hands. It is right, yeah, the Nutter Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Scholastic Open, all of Scholastic Open is there, and then they've got the first rounds 2 and 4 of Independent Open are that evening.
So I think that sucks a little bit for those groups that are going to not get to see Dayton, especially for Third Legend, who's seated top three. You know, like I mean, technically they're seated first.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're either 1 or 2, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they're first by 0.05, but it's
Yeah.
just like
Now,
you have a potential medalist that's not going to see UD Arena until finals for open class. All
uh,
right. Well, that's all we've
cool.
got. So we will be back after Dayton to see how we did.
See what happens.
And we will reference this. And yeah, we'll see how many we got right, how many we got wrong. We'll see if we got the fan. I don't know if they're doing fan favorites again this year, right? Because I don't think they did it last year.
Oh no.
But if they do, we'll check that. I don't know why, but I feel like they stopped. I think after because they did it right after COVID, because obviously I think Amp with the Joker show didn't win fan favorite because they didn't have it.
Okay.
But I mean, which would have been the clear
Oh,
winner.
that would
I
have been
mean,
hands
hands.
down the easy. Yeah,
So
but
maybe they bring it back because they've been doing it at the regionals.
okay.
They've been doing it at the televised regional. So maybe they'll do it. Maybe Flow will do it, but not Dayton, because Dayton used to do it where you could vote. You know, you could text. You know, the
Right. Yeah,
number.
it was always a thing
But
there.
maybe Flow will do it. So we'll go off of Flow if they do that one.
Sure. Perfect.
All right. So I
Awesome.
thank
Yeah.
you for joining.
Thanks for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yeah.
And good luck to everybody traveling. Safe travels. Have so much fun. Wear all the sequins, all your rhinestones, bust it out, do it up.
Trade all the pins and all the
Do
clips and
all the things.
eat the oranges. Don't
Yes,
kiss the
don't forget
wall.
yours.
Do not kiss the wall.
Don't do that. No, gross.
You don't want to get sick.
Do not do that.
All
Aw,
right. Well, we will catch you next time. Good luck, everybody.
yay.
And that's going to do it for this episode. All right. Once again, good luck to everybody at Dayton. I'm sorry. I know this was a long episode, but we had a lot to get through and we just had so much fun talking about Color Guard. We could have kept going, but I was like, we need to end this. We will be doing a special Flags in a Gym Superlative Awards after Dayton. So keep an eye on Instagram for that. Just something fun to do where you can vote on who you thought had the best flag line, weapon line, best costumes, best setup, coolest concept, those kinds of things. Just a fun little thing. So keep an eye out on Instagram for that. So until after Dayton, stay safe, stay fabulous. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just flags in a gym.